Welcome to the show where we talk about buying, selling, online selling, eBay, Mercari, Amazon, garage sales, estate sales.
Okay, you should be able to hear me now, right? Everybody. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Here, let me check. Yep, there we go. I can't read lips yet. I know, sorry. It keeps defaulting for something that I don't even have in the system, which is crazy. Yes, I can now. So Anthony looked like he was driving. The first time when he was in the back, he said, "Let me get my headphones," and then it disappeared. And then he was just there when I played the intro, and he disappeared. So I hope he's not running into low reception areas or something, but he should be right back. I hope. We're going to talk to Anthony about sports cards. A lot of people had questions about sports cards. Like, how do you get them graded? Where do you get them graded? How do you look at grades? How do you look at values? That type of stuff. And with that, it's Anthony.
Hey, sorry about that, Paul. I was having a little technical difficulty.
No, I figured that. I didn't know you were in maybe a low spot or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my phone or what it was, but I appreciate you bearing with me. Really appreciate the opportunity to come on today, man. Always a pleasure when we get together.
Yeah, man. It's the first time I've seen you in a long time. How have you been?
I've been fantastic, man. Just, living the dream out here in California where it's sunny. Not cold anymore in Pittsburgh.
Yep. So how are you liking the California lifestyle?
I really do like it out here. I mean, the weather's beautiful. It's a grind, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard, hard grind. It's really expensive to live out here, which is like a shock from Pittsburgh. Like, Basically, I owned a house for like what I have to pay rent out here for like 1 year. So,
wow.
Going from like one extreme to the other, like one coast to the other, has been, a little bit of culture shock, but it's fun. There's a lot to do.
Hey, so, Lisa says, looking good. What part of California are you in?
I live in Hollywood, but
Hollywood?
Los Angeles is like, where I work and everything. Yeah. But yeah, I live in Hollywood.
Nice. So a lot of salads and bean sprouts for lunch and that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, all types of healthy stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, my buddy likes drinking this stuff called matcha. It's like green. I have no idea what it is. Some kind of shrubbery.
It looks like a spinach shake or something.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that out here.
Wow. Have you tried it yet?
I have. I wasn't a fan. I was like, yeah.
So, Perlini, good morning. Thank you for coming in. Let me ask, when you were Hollywood swinging, yeah, that's it. Hollywood. Oh, and we lost him again. Can't stand matcha. I think I've tried it once. It's that green stuff. Back again.
That time was user error. That I fat fingered it. I was trying to read the comments.
Okay. So when you were here, well, not here, but when you were on this coast in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
you were grading for a company.
Correct. Yeah,
Wait,
myself and my best friend Marty started a company called Transparent Grading Team, and we came up with the idea to like actually show people like why their grades like started, like, you know, like if you got a 10, why it was a 10. If you get a 9, why it was a 9. And because of like the innovation and like sharing that technology, we were actually in the process of merging with another company called Arena Club that is like ran by like Derek Jeter and his team.
oh
And
wow.
you now get to grade with them, so it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I used to love watching your videos because you had the press right in your home there in the table and stuff. I was, oh, that's awesome. I always wondered how they did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have to admit, I did everybody. I did send Anthony several cards. I think 100, and I've been getting interest on them. I sold one so far.
Nice. So,
Another 3, I went back and forth with somebody. He offered me, and then I countered. Then he offered, and I countered.
yeah,
I don't know how many, and I don't know if you know. Is Anthony driving? Yes. No, he's actually, I think, walking down the street.
I have a chauffeur.
Oh, nice.
It's my buddy Marty.
Hey, Marty, how are you?
How's it going? Yeah.
Are there more people on? Because I have to say, I haven't checked out the whole thing yet. Are there more people like me that have sent in? Because I think I sent in 99% non-sports cards.
There's a few people like you that have non-sports cards. Marty, actually, the guy I just showed, is like really into collecting the type of stuff that you sent in.
Okay.
I mean, like some super unique stuff. Like you sent in like the 1966 Batman stuff. The
Yep.
only other person I know collecting that stuff is actually Marty. You know,
Oh,
he
wow.
created PSA of what, like the super villains from that set or something like that.
It wasn't that set. I think it was $78.
Okay, gotcha.
But I do have one of the 66.
But yeah, there are people that are like really into like those type of cards. So the stuff that you have is actually like very rare to even have graded, Paul. There's not a lot of it like in population, regardless of grading companies. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so it's going to be a little more desirable once you get like the right eyes on it, in my opinion.
Yep. Well, I mean, when after I got the okay, we're graded, you're graded, and I went in and looked, and then I had to go in and put the pricing in. When I started to look and research the pricing on some of those cards, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the Marvel with the Venom and from the night, was it 92 or 93? I knew those were going to be hot. That's why I sent them in. But it's like, oh my God, I didn't think they were that high.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the older ones too, you know, like just like the really weird, like oddball ones, you know, like
Yep.
the one like, hey, my deodorant failed or whatever it was, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, the garbage pail kids.
oh man, like I swear, like every single person that actually worked on your order was just like, wow, this is like the most unique like set of cards I've ever seen. And it's like, it's awesome, man. It really is. It's super cool.
Well, that's what I figured. That's what you may have wanted. You want somebody that just didn't have the same old sports. Not that they're not bad, but I'm saying I wanted to send in. And plus, I don't collect sports cards. I have some because I used to sell them in the shop in the early 90s. But I figured let's give the arena thing a variation, you know, a different stuff to go through.
Yeah.
And I sent in what? I sent in the 78 Superman, the Star Wars, the Empire Strikes Back, man, the Marvel cards, everything.
Yep. Yeah, you
Wow.
sent really nice stuff, man.
So who knows about, Perlini said, who knows about Pokemon cards? I sent him, I think, 2 Pokemon cards.
I know a little bit about Pokemon, Lynn. It just would depend on what exactly you're wanting to know. Definitely, as far as resellability, anything that has a Charizard on it, you definitely want to pick up. Um, you know, anything like full art, that type of stuff. Older cards are definitely more valuable. Has a star at the bottom of it, because there's going to be like little symbols at the bottom of every card. A circle's basically basic. Like there's like probably not valuable unless it's like a first edition shadow list something or another. And then there's like a diamond, that means uncommon. Normally the uncommons aren't really valuable again unless it's like a shadow list first edition something or another. The ones that have a star on it mean that it's rare. So typically any cards you find with a star at the bottom, you at least know, hey, I should probably look this up. There's an app you can download on your phone called TCG Player, and you can actually scan the cards. It's not always 100% accurate, but when it's accurate, it's very accurate, and it'll basically give you like, to the cent how much the card's worth and like the data for it. Like, hey, this is a Pikachu with yellow cheeks from 2006 or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
That's for me, like not knowing a whole lot of obscure stuff. TCG Player has been like a lifeline for me.
Lisa has a question. Have Whatnot auctions affected sports cards and their pricing or values?
In my opinion, not. People actually seem to get more for cards on Whatnot. Like the way people typically measure the value of sports cards is via eBay comps. There's a lot of different marketing softwares out there, whether it's like a Market Movers or a Card Ladder, where they kind of measure card prices going up and down. And most of them pull their data from eBay sold comps. From what I've found, for the most part, Whatnot seems to be on a lot of cards typically higher than a lot of eBay sold comps. So I don't know that it's really affecting it. I do see a lot of people that were, sellers on, say, YouTube auctions or Instagram auctions or like Twitter or like any of these other spots now moving over to Whatnot and doing their stuff kind of exclusively there. So that may kind of, in a sense, hurt some of these other genres and places to do those type of things. And eventually, I would say maybe once Whatnot becomes so flooded in any certain category, it might also make it harder to compete in that category, which could make the ROI drop, in my opinion. It's almost kind of like if you think of Amazon, if you think of like replenishable stuff, right? So if Paul has a replenishable Amazon thing and then I jump on it, all of a sudden I'm driving down the price on Paul's thing. And then, like, say 5 other sellers jump in there selling the exact same stuff. Just like Paul was saying, when he sent us like the non-sports cards, it was to kind of be unique and to stand out, because everybody else is going to be selling, like the Zion Williamson cards and the Trevor Lawrences and the whoever else.
Yep.
But I mean, right now for cards, Whatnot is still super, super hot. So if you're a seller on Whatnot and you have cards, I would highly suggest doing some auctions and stuff on there, just because of how liquid they seem to be on there.
Well, the nice thing about and Sandy Kirk is sending you some love.
Hey, Sandy.
The nice thing about Whatnot is Perlini, not to avoid your question, but the app, the glitch. Well, we could talk about that later, because it could be just a tech thing. You just maybe need to clean up your phone a little, because the phone is basically a little computer. But the thing that people love about Whatnot is and I didn't know, like you had said now, I know you're on Instagram, probably that's it. You don't do Facebook, you don't do YouTube anymore. It's just Instagram.
No, I'm still on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. I know you just mentioned Instagram auctions. I never knew people were doing auctions on Instagram.
Yep. Actually, for card community, that I used to do them mainly on YouTube because I used to like to have the content up there. But
Right.
so if I were to do it on Instagram, I would have, like, honest to God, probably 3 times as many people buying stuff, just because Instagram's a really, really hotbed for sports card collecting. So if, like, you have a lot of people that follow you that collect cards and you go live and you're showing off cards, they typically come and buy them.
Wow. But
So
the reason a lot of people like Whatnot is because there's no invoicing, there's no nothing. You present it, you can go back an hour later, it's all ready. You
Yep.
package it up, you put the weight in, the size, and print the label, and you're done.
Yep.
It is very, very nice, very handy. The fees are there, but it's very handy. So, can you explain because the company you're at now, they call it a vault.
Uh-huh.
And I guess eBay is doing the same thing. Is this a trend now where, you know,
Most what's happening is due to, like, a lot of people trying to fake not only cards but slabs and stuff like that. Most grading card companies are doing, like, vaults now, especially with marketplaces attached. Like, so if they're going to be, especially with eBay, if you're over, I think, $500 now, they have to send that card out to CSG to be verified as authentic. And typically, what they're doing with the vaults, more so than anything, is not only security, but to be able to transact at a high pace. So almost instantaneous. Like, say, for example, if we're watching a basketball game and Jason Tatum starts tearing through the game, right? I could be on there, pick up one of his cards while it's still low, and then as the price starts to raise, I could be in there and sell it already. You know what I mean? So that's
oh
one of the
wow.
things that's nice about, like, the vault aspect, is that it's instantaneous transfers. There's not, like, any kind of shipping involved or anything of that nature as well.
So, but basically, this concept, because it's now your company, it's Amazon, it's eBay. It was, I guess, its main purpose was to combat the fakes.
Correct. Yeah. The main purpose of it is to combat the fakes, but it's also to secure people's high end collectibles, and also to be able to control the cards actually being transacted. Like, in the card community, one thing that's very, very common is people making trades in, like, say, a Facebook group, and then the one thing happens, the guy sends his card, and then the other guy doesn't send anything, and the next thing you know, every Facebook group Joe blows out there like, hey, this guy either sent me a fake or ripped me off. The nice thing about the vault is, that there's always somebody, in charge of actually doing the transacting. So anybody you make a deal with, and that's the nice thing about what we do at Arena Club, is there's actually trading too. So, like, if you and I wanted to make a trade and you didn't know me, you could feel safe making a trade with me, knowing that, a third party is controlling what actually happens with
Right.
goods, So
If it's in the vault, it must be real.
correct.
Now, somebody, when I was talking about, you coming on talking about sports cards and stuff, somebody had a question. They're not in the chat right now. Let's say, all right, hold on. Oh, let's say I picked up this pack of older cards at a garage sale, flea market, whatever. What is the best avenue to check value on something like that, to see maybe I got a winner, or are they all just 10-cent cards?
So right now, the easiest thing to do if you have zero knowledge on sports cards, there's this new app that's out called Center Stage. It's very much like TCG Player, but for sports cards. It's
Center Stage?
Center Stage, yes. And this is if you have zero knowledge on cards. cards. I always recommend Center Stage. It's not always accurate, but when it is, it's very much like the TCG player, where it's going to give you accurate information on the cards. But if you do have knowledge on cards, what I typically say is go through, pull out your rookie cards, pull out any like superstar Hall of Famer type players and set them aside. And then once like you kind of have those verified, any kind of stuff that's left over is what most people consider bulk. If you are going to sell that, you typically sell it, as a lot. Because it's not super valuable, and you know what I mean. Like there's not really a market for a lot of those cards individually, but some people will buy them in bulk. So what I would say with the bulk, you just package them up, take some nice pictures, and then just put it up on eBay or wherever you choose to sell it as a bulk lot of sports cards. Sometimes it's nice to kind of list it as a collection. You know what I mean? And maybe show some of the nicer cards that you're leaving in the bulk. I always try to leave at least a few nice things that, somebody's going to actually want to buy the whole box of crap for. So, so I always like to try to highlight those things. Now, once you have the bulk taken care of and you're basically down to cards that are decent, cards that are, rookies, cards that are superstar people, what you're doing is you're going to look up the values, but also you're going to check condition. Anything that's in really good condition, you're going to want to consider it for grading. And the reason for that is typically when you grade cards, if you get a 10, you could get up to 10x the value on that card. If you get a 9, sometimes you get up to 4x the value on that card. So
it's just like grading comics.
Correct. Yeah. So it's just like grading comics or, video games or anything nowadays.
But I remember being in your show a long time ago, and now I don't watch sports. I don't watch baseball, football. I don't watch any of the fixed sports. I still just watch wrestling. You always talked about watching a basketball game, and this guy was aces during the game. He was really great. And you said that's going to affect the card value immediately. So does like that app show that, or you have to know that?
That one typically doesn't. There are other apps. There's one by Sports Card Investor called Market Movers that does. It's almost like watching like the Dow Jones, like stocks.
Okay.
Only you can basically program your collection into it, so you can like literally see in real time like how your cards are doing, or if you want to like look into an investment card, like, hey, should I buy this LeBron James rookie card? Let me look to see what it's done like over like the last 3 years. Like, is it up? Is it down? Like XYZ, and you can actually like chart trends and stuff like that through it. So there are actually like software programs out there where you can kind of go Dow Jones on card collecting.
Wow.
Really kind of see different ROIs. One thing I saw, Sports Card Investor share. He's the guy who makes Market Movers. He actually shared a picture of Trey Lance, who's the quarterback for the 49ers. One of his cards. It's like a nice autographed card of him. It's one of the most sought after cards of him. It's down 51% since he hurt his ankle and is out the year.
Wow.
Just in like a matter of days, the value of that card went down 51%. And
wow. Hey, Storage Bandits, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. So, not to get off the topic too much, but you're in Hollywood. So you have plans for April already?
Yeah, actually, me and Marty are going to our first WrestleMania. We actually just got the tickets the day they dropped.
Very nice.
Yes, very excited.
My first and only WrestleMania was WrestleMania 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hello, Paul, Anthony, and those in the chat. Ping G, welcome in. Are you still buying and collecting the wrestling cards?
Oh, big time. Absolutely.
I have to admit, I haven't seen too many of your Instagram stuff. I did, see a few. but it is extremely hard to find the Upper Deck AEW cards.
Yeah, they're a tough find, and they're even harder to find in good condition. We bought a hobby box of them, and like almost all of the cards came out with like edge damage, corner damage, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I can never find any, but when you do find them, they're like $20-$30 a pack.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
So that center stage, would that do wrestling cards also?
It should, but I mean the wrestling market is very niche right now, so
Yep.
it probably doesn't have a lot of it. It would be mainly really accurate at the main sports like baseball, football, and I would guess basketball would be like the main like data sources it has. It would
Yep.
have some wrestling and stuff like that, but I would imagine not like any of like the obscure stuff. Maybe some of the new Prism or something like that. Um, but it's still like a reasonably new app, so their data is still reasonably incomplete, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
Essentially, they need to run like basically every type of card through their system to actually start charting it. And with wrestling being as niche as it is, they probably just don't have a very extensive database.
Wow. Are the because I remember back then too, you had it down almost to the hour when these cards were going to be delivered at Walmart and Target and stuff.
Yep.
But then you said that company, and I think it was Pinnacle, they were losing the contract.
Yeah, yeah, they
Panini, that's it.
and they actually are in the process of even selling the Panini America license to Fanatics, who
Oh
is the
wow.
company who is going to have like the licenses for all of the major sports going forward. They also bought Topps, who's like one of the big card manufacturers as well. So
Wow.
Fanatics like does like all of like the jerseys, the
Yep.
hats, that type of stuff. They're now moving into cards and collectibles in that space as well.
So what's the hot card if people are into it and they're wondering, because like you go to Walmart, you see on the shelf there's 5 different manufacturers of cards, 6 different manufacturers of cards. What are the good ones to look for lately?
So the ones you want are Panini Prism or Panini Optic. Those are the ones that are really popular right now. And as far as like sets that are going to hold value, even if you were to say take one of them boxes and just kind of stick it in your closet for a couple years, it'll probably go up in value because
Oh
those
wow.
sets that collectors really hold like a precedence on. So it's not only like valuable to like get a box and then resell right away because you could probably make double the money, triple the money. But some of the sets, if you get the right box, it's valuable to just hold on to because then you might get 10x the money a year later, or 2 years later, or 3 years later. Like just thinking back to a box from 2018 that has Luka Doncic rookie in it, like that's a very valuable box for something that would have been $20 at Target. So um, if you
Wow.
have the right person in the box, it pays for itself.
Nice. Lisa has a question. With all the economy news lately, does it have much play in the sports card values? Still or I guess, or is it still a relatively safe bet in the tough economic times?
To be honest with you, Lisa, it's both and because with sports cards and like collecting being kind of like a hobby, in like when the economy's bad and people don't have money, it does affect people spending and people buying cards. But it's also a hobby where if you look at like the demographic, it's mainly like older men, like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or older that have amassed some kind of money. Like either, I'm not saying that like only rich people collect, but Like there's a big demographic of people, like, because there's a lot of cards out there. Like I go to card shows and I walk the floor and there's cards that I couldn't even dream of affording. But there are literally people that walk down these rows and literally drop thousands of dollars every single card show on, oh, that's a nice looking Roberto Clemente card, and meanwhile it's like a $4,000 to $5,000 card. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So the demographic of a lot of the collectors seem to have money. So with that being said, I haven't seen much of a dip, like as far as like my personal sports card sales. But again, I don't really deal in like the super high end stuff either. Like a lot of the stuff I deal in is like the, $20 cards or $50 cards, maybe up to $100 to $200 cards. Anything like really beyond that, I don't really deal in that kind of magnitude of card. If that makes sense.
Wow. Anybody has a question for Anthony about collecting sports cards and stuff, just put it in the chat.
But yeah, I mean, it does attract people with like money, just because it is a valuable asset, I guess.
Right.
And a lot of people are looking with the economy to kind of put their money into other things that are more tangible. So I have seen people, like, for example, there's a guy in my office that doesn't really collect, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to take X amount of money and put it into Joe Burrow because I believe Joe Burrow is going to be like the next Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or whatever. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, there are some people that will, take a certain amount of money and put it in something like that. And
Nice.
hope one day it being like kind of like a lottery ticket.
Right. So being with a card grading company, are you able to go to top? There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Oh, you sound better now too. Being with a card grading company, are you able to go to Tops or Upper Deck or Panini and buy wholesale now?
Yeah. I mean, I could do that either way. That's not a huge problem. But I typically don't, just because like I don't really move like that quantity of cards anymore. Like I basically right now the cards that I sell, I basically just sell them so that I can like go out and buy like the cards I actually want. Or like I'll take like the cards that come out of the box that I don't want and I'll like use them to trade for like cards I do want or whatever. So most of like what I actually take in now is basically just like hobby related stuff. But in the past, what I used to do is I used to go and get as many cards as I could from Targets, Walmarts, or whatever, and I used to open them up, and like I just had a talent for being able to like look at them and see if they were in good condition. So
Yeah.
I actually taught myself PSA's grade scale, SGC's grade scale, Beckett's grade scale, and myself and a couple of friends became group submitters for like all of the different grading companies. And
Oh, wow.
just from being able to open the packs and send out the ones that were in good condition, I was able to kind of transition during the pandemic my business, which was mainly built around, like storage units and thrifting and, uh, you know, flea markets, that type of stuff, into mainly selling like high end graded sports cards and stuff like that. Just from being able to go to the store, find a $20 box, and identify, number one, the cards that were valuable, but number two, like if they were gradable. Because if you're paying money to grade a card that's damaged, then you're basically wasting money because it's not going to be worth what you paid to grade it. But if you're paying money to grade a card that's in good condition, that's going to increase in value, then you're just going to, it's like a good investment into, your business. So there is a lot of opportunity for it if you have a good eye for condition, and you kind of know, like, it doesn't have to be like a specific sport. Like Paul knows Marvel, so he knows the characters to look for. If he's out there hunting Marvel cards, and every time he comes across Spider-Man, Venom, Iron Man, any of like the key characters, he knows to pick them up, and if they're in good condition, he knows he can grade them and get 4 to 10x the value, or whatever it may be for that card.
Nice.
So, and it's applicable to like anything that you like. You know, if you're a basketball fan, do it with basketball players. If you're a football fan, do it with football players. You know,
Right.
might be a
And
game
the
of
nice the
may
nice
have
thing, sorry. The nice thing is about what you do now is you don't have a whole bedroom full of inventory. All your inventory could fit in a pantry. On
correct.
Are you at work now? Do you have to leave?
Oh no, I'm not there yet. I'll be there probably in about another 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
I'm at like waypoint.
But that is now, I mean, I don't know, the graded cards and stuff, it's really, really awesome. And I mean, I still haven't been to a card show in, man, like 20 years probably. My last one was back home. No more storage unit mattresses, Lisa says.
No, thankfully I have not had any storage unit match to deal with. Although I got to be honest with you, I have had the itch. And I don't know why it's a sickness, but I have had the itch to buy storage unit. And in my spare time, I'm not going to lie, I have been looking at storage treasures, but
Wow.
I have been talking myself out of it as of late.
So you don't find out where they're filming the latest Storage Wars and say, let me just mosey on down there and get in the camera angle a little.
I should do that, but I don't.
Do you have the urge to go and get in any movies as background or anything?
I think that'd be cool. You know, me and Marty have always talked about starting our own TV show back in the day, with like created.
I mean, I've done it here a few times when they film in Orlando, like Beethoven, you know, and that type of stuff. I got background in those, but I mean, you're in Hollywood, the land of it, man.
We went to a movie premiere for Doctor Strange when that came out.
Yeah,
we got to see like Kevin Feige and Sam Raimi, like, the whole cast and stuff. That was kind of cool. That was probably the closest thing to like, you know, movie stuff I've been in since I've been here.
Yep. Well, very, very nice. Very nice. Hey, Tommy, how are you? Very, very nice. So what are you finding for your hobby, for card collecting? Is there a major difference between Pennsylvania and LA?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like Southern Cali's kind of like the mecca for sports cards right now. Like it's crazy. Like the card shows they have here on a weekly basis, like the crappy ones are like the really good ones in Pittsburgh. You know, and it's
Wow.
like it's like almost on steroids. It really is. In my opinion, the best card shop in the world, Burbank Sports Cards. It's out here in LA too. And it's like one of those card shops that like if you follow card content on YouTube, it like everybody goes to visit, makes vlogs there. It's like that like destination shop, you know, so like that's here. So like a lot of like
very nice
influencers and people like that come through a lot to visit for that, and a lot of the shows that are out here.
Very, very nice.
No, I'm in California now. I live in Hollywood.
There is, and I don't think I told you this because I haven't seen you in a long time. There's a friend of ours in Massachusetts that has the largest sports card store there, sports memorabilia store there. And he called my buddy and he says, "Hey, Dave, were you at a wrestling show in 1978?" And he says, "Well, probably." So he gives him the magazine. It's wrestling, whatever. I don't see it here next to me. And you go to you open it up, and there's a picture of me and my buddy at the Dallas Wrestling Convention in 1978.
That's so cool.
It's like, how awesome is that to see, you know, you and a piece of memorabilia that comes through a store like that?
That's awesome, man.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we should have got his autograph before he went to the big times.
Awesome.
He moved up to the big time. Cali people are stupid. I hear that all the time.
No comment. You know what? The people I hate most are the people that drive in California. Oh my god! If you drive
Really?
in California, odds are I want to punch you.
Wow.
It's like,
I love the California roads. Your turns are banked.
well,
I
I mean,
wish they would do that here.
I'm more in the city, so it's like nothing but like constant traffic for me. So it sucks.
Yeah, we get that a lot too.
Yeah.
We get that a lot too. So what is on your outlook for like coming up? Is there anything being released that you're waiting to come out to see if it's going to be a huge success for a card or a series of cards?
Um. Well, I mean, typically there's always the same sets come out typically annually. So the ones right now that I'm really looking to get are the Prism and the Optic and the Select. Those are like the three really big sets that collectors are really like fawning after. But personally, I also want to like collect the wrestling sets for myself. So like any of the new wrestling hobby boxes that come out are the ones that I'm like really personally targeting. Um, Marty actually just opened maybe a month ago a hobby box of WWE Select, and he got an Undertaker auto that he gave me. It's just like insanely cool. So uh,
Nice.
the main thing I personally want to collect right now is I'm trying to get like all of like the legend autographs of like the guys I grew up watching. You know, like so I have the Undertaker so far. I have Bret Hart. I have Shawn Michaels. I have Triple H. I've Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, so like a lot of these guys that I like grew up like that were like my heroes. I'm trying to collect autographs of now. So
Right. Let me show this because Sandy Kirk asked.
yeah,
There's Anthony's card right there. Sandy. What did you must have seen it. Ric Flair's last match?
yeah. I didn't actually watch it, but I did see like stuff on YouTube about it. I heard he did not fare too well.
Right. And now Ricky Steamboat is going to do a last match.
Nice.
So I figured when Flair did it, I guess that everybody will start jumping on the bandwagon that can still walk. I guess.
I mean,
So
it's probably a good payday.
yeah, oh yeah, I would imagine. When you go to WrestleMania, are you going to go to the festivities like the Fan Fest and stuff and get stuff autographed?
I think so. I want to. I have a ton of cards just from opening all the boxes now. So like most of the wrestlers that should be there signing, I would imagine I probably have at least a card of. So yeah, I would imagine Marty and I will try to go to as much of that stuff as possible.
Nice. And promote the company too.
Yeah. That would be
Wow.
cool.
Anybody else isn't Ric Flair old? Yes, he's 73, Anthony, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. He actually has a YouTube channel now too. Actually, he does a podcast.
Yeah. He does a podcast once or twice a week now.
Yep.
But anybody have any questions for Anthony about cards and stuff like that, or living in California, having bean sprouts and salad for lunch every day? Are you still doing keto?
I am still doing keto. Yes.
I have to get back into it. I did it. It was good. We went home, and it's like when you're on vacation, it's so hard to follow. So I have to get back onto it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I've let myself cheat a little bit with like different trail mixes and stuff like that. I need to get like a little more like hardcore on it as well.
Yeah.
Back to the way I was.
All right. Ric Flair. Okay. So anything else coming up for you, Anthony?
Not a whole lot, man. Just been grinding. Still, trying to produce content on the channel a couple days a week. Different card stuff that I have coming out. A lot of different shows. You know, try to go to a card show every couple weeks and do like live streams and stuff like that. Whenever we're out at shows, just to kind of bring people along.
To promote the company, you mean?
Well, more so to just kind of show off what the experience is.
Okay.
As far as like promoting the company, we typically do like different stuff at the shows. Yeah, like we'll set up booths and
Hello,
take
Kathy.
stuff. But I
That's
always
cool.
typically like to walk around and like show people like what's happening at the show, like what kind of cards are there, like what the vendors are doing, stuff like actually walking the floor type stuff as well.
One thing I know you remember, you probably do remember Jerry. We talk about this every once in a while because he started to do shows. He stopped YouTube and started to do more shows, so people can just come to the table, buy the stuff, and leave, and he doesn't have to pack it.
Yeah.
Do the sports card shows have a lot of the old stars autographing?
A lot of them do, yeah. So especially the bigger ones, they'll bring in bigger names. But yeah, typically most of the shows, now the ones that like run weekly and stuff, like out here in California, may not always have like a guest, but ones that are like say monthly or something like that, typically do have a guest each time, or bi-monthly, for example. Like we go to one in Virginia Beach all the time, and every time we go there, they have at least 4 different autograph guests they are signing, and typically those athletes drive traffic to the show. So
Right.
that's a big reason why a lot of times people will bring them in, just to kind of drive traffic, which will make it a little more liquid for the sellers.
What's the average charge for a sports person for an autograph?
It really just depends on who it is. For example, like there could be some guys as low as $10 if they're like a who, but if they're, for example, like an Emmett Smith, he might charge $300 for his autograph.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really just depends on like who the athlete is. Like sometimes even I've seen college people, because now they have that NIL license where they can make money off of their names and their
Yep.
likeness. So I've even seen college athletes, like quarterbacks from schools, coming and charging, $50 for an autograph. And it's like, dude, I don't even know if you're going to make it to the NFL. Like,
Right. Wow. Well,
So,
I was on Facebook this morning, and people were talking. CGC is doing a Todd McFarland autograph session,
nice.
and it's $120 for him to autograph one piece.
Wow.
And people are saying, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. It was back and forth. There was no, no more than one person than the other. But I remember seeing Todd when he first got started selling free at a Boston comic convention. Sandy Kirk says, what do you like better, Cali or Natrona Heights?
I miss Natrona Heights, Sandy. I'll tell you that much. I do like it out here in Cali, but I am looking forward to coming home like around the holidays. And
So maybe we should ask you that question in December.
December, I'm probably going to say I miss Cali because it's but yeah, since I haven't been to Pittsburgh since I moved to Cali, I definitely would say Natrona Heights right now.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. I work in Los Angeles though.
Nice, very nice. So anything coming up for you soon?
Not really, man. Just same old, man. I'm just grinding, working, continuing to, move forward, get this channel pushed out there. Looking forward to, seeing what's, on the horizon with the company and everything like that as well. Got a lot of
very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the CEO of the company to come on and talk about the platform and stuff.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because I'm still baffled. I am still baffled about how it works and everything. But then I see, oh, you just sold a card. Damn, that was nice.
For sure. I'm working to make it even easier, man. Like the goal really is to make it like fantasy football meets Amazon FBA, meets personally collecting cards. So
nice.
just to have that like fun experience, making money, collecting cards.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. What platform? It's can
Called
we mention what is it?
it's called Arena Club.
Yeah, Arena Club Cat. I sent Anthony 100 cards. No sport. Well, yeah, there was well, I call them sports. Like when Ric Flair was fighting Hulk Hogan, is that one, and
That one's cool.
maybe another one or two. But most of the ones that I sent Anthony were non-sports, like the 1966 Batman and 78 Star Wars and that type of stuff.
Yep.
I still have a ton of sports cards because we used to sell singles when I had the store back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, that other app, in case people just came in, what was that app for sports?
Center Stage.
Center Stage.
Yep.
Thank you, Lisa C. Thank you very much. Lisa C just posted your link for your YouTube channel.
We appreciate that.
So Center Stage, we all know the TCG app for non-sports Pokemon and stuff like that.
Yep, Center Stage is great for sports.
Excellent. So if there's no other questions, everybody, I'm surprised Anthony lasted this long. If it was me, I would have been dizzy out of my mind. I'm one of those people that have to drive and see where I'm going.
I don't mind. Marty typically takes the morning shift. I drive home. So.
Oh, nice. So I didn't see a Starbucks stop or anything on the way.
Not yet. That's
not yet. Okay.
Your future.
Are you now that you're in California? Are you going to Comic-Con?
You know what? I actually really wanted to, but it was the exact same time as the National Sports Card Convention, and I had to go there for work. So I was in Atlantic City the exact same time as Comic-Con, or else I totally would have went. Because I've always wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I think next year I may try to request it off, though, because it's always been like one of them bucket list things for me is to go to Comic-Con. So
yeah, it's great.
I might even get nerdy and dress up to go to the San Diego one. Long Beach Expo, that's right. Are you going to be going to that, Kat? Definitely have to go check that one out. I went to the last one they had in Long Beach. I think it was like half coins, half cards.
Oh, wow. Yeah, never heard of it. Although, like I said, I haven't been to a card show in over 20 years.
Yeah. They're fun, man. The kind of stuff you have too would do well at card shows, man. If you just set out a couple boxes, maybe set out some of the more unique stuff face up to attract people. They come right through and just pick on through.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying too, if you missed the earlier in the show, just go back and watch. Anthony was saying, like I asked, because somebody asked last week or whatever, you buy a pack of cards at a flea market, a garage sale or whatever, you don't know what's in there. And Anthony was saying you pull out the rookies, and if you follow the sport, you know who's hot.
Yep. Yeah.
And you pull out those cards. Although I don't follow the sports, so I don't know who's hot. But yeah, I mean, that I'm definitely gonna try that center stage.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful, especially if you just have like a stack of cards like you just showed there. Like I saw baseball in there. Like it should pull that type of stuff. They have really good data on the major sports.
Paul SMH. What's SMH?
I think shaking my head.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. I'm not.
Could be. I hope it's that. I miss yard sales. Yeah, have you been to any garage sales in Cali or yard sales?
You know what? They're pretty fantastic, actually. So when I was in Pittsburgh, like I used to love targeting like the Richie neighborhoods. There's a lot of Richie people out here. You know what I mean? Like imagine like Bel Air and being like, hey, let me get all your kids' old toys. Those people don't care. You know what I mean? They just want to get the crap out of their house.
Nice. Have you been to the Rose Bowl flea market?
I have not.
Oh, I went there one year. That was beautiful. And you're lucky because you live there. Because when you look at stuff, it says, "Oh my God, I would love to get this, but how the hell would I get it home?" Yeah, very, very nice. This is LOL. There's awesome down there, Hunting Beach, especially in Huntington Beach. Yeah. All right. So it sounds like you are really enjoying California.
Yes, sir. It's
Nice.
really out here. Nice
Very
weather,
nice.
nice people.
So we'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. You just let me know, and I will make time. And
You gotta go live during the Fan Fest at WrestleMania. Oh, lost him again. But I mean, yeah, that's awesome. I hit the beach towns for yard sales and to stream.
My bad. I was trying to look at the chat again.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, you'll have to go live when you're at WrestleMania Fan Fest or whatever.
You know what? I think I will. It normally, like, what I've been doing, if I'm doing something like cool, I've just been like trying to go live for it. Like, I took my nephew to Disney, and there was like a cool like parade thing. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go live. You know, or like I went to Universal and I was like on the tour. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go live. You know, so I probably will. You know, just to kind of document that. Like, because believe it or not, like one of the best videos on my channel right now is like an hour and a half video of me walking through the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like,
I missed that.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. I did it in like 2020, but like,
wow.
Or watching it, like every other day, I get like a comment on it, like, "Hey, man, that's cool. I was just there."
Wow, nice.
So like, it's that type of stuff is pretty good for like, I would say like evergreen type content too.
Yep. So how long have you been in California?
I moved here January the 2nd.
Okay.
About 8 months, 9 months ish.
So are you still like, is it like the giddy feeling like, hey, I live in Hollywood and, you know.
The worn off.
Really?
It's like homeless people everywhere and it's filthy. So it's
wow. It's like here. It's like living 30 miles from Disney World. It's like, yeah, we're all moused out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's really cool though. Like, I'm 5 minutes from Universal. I have a season pass, so I go like all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, that kind of stuff is really cool. You know?
You're like an hour from Hasbro, so you can go to their annual sales.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of benefits to being out here. It just sucks that it's so expensive.
It is. It is. I remember last time we went to San Diego. We went to Little Italy, and to make my trip deductible, I had to talk real estate with a few people. Mm-hmm. So I went into one of the real estate offices. How much are the condos here? And they said, it's like $500,000. So for a condo, yeah, that's just for a 1-bed, 1-bath. And then they said it's another like $200,000 for parking space. Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
It's wild, man.
Paul, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I get starstruck, Perlini. Every time I'm there, I get starstruck. Anthony gets to go and be in the audience and all the TV shows now, and
yeah. Last time I went to Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He's like right where his studio is like literally across the street from where I live.
And then you find out he collects sports cards, so you're in. That would be awesome. Well, all right, Anthony. I don't want to keep you much. I mean, I like I said, this is awesome. This is really, really awesome.
You have me on, and it's always nice to, get together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Lisa, thank you for putting up his link to his channel. Everybody, check out Anthony on Instagram. He's on there a lot. Sandy says, take care, my good friend Anthony. Don't be a stranger. Later, everyone. Thanks, Sandy Kirk.
Awesome.
Wow, Perlini said the house she grew up in Orange County is over 800,000.
Wow.
Damn. Well, thank you very, very much, Anthony, for coming on.
Paul, and sorry about the technical difficulties.
No sweat. No sweat. You made it work fine.
All right.
Thank you, and take care. And I'm going to reach out to whoever I need to reach out to. Put a little bug in his ear for me if you could.
I will. I definitely will talk to him today for you.
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Take care.
You too, man.
Bye. That was awesome. That was really awesome. I mean, I love Hollywood. I love LA. And I do get starstruck. I do get starstruck. But yeah, so Anthony's like, you could see the smile in his face and everything. He loves it. He loves what he's doing. So I hope that he gave some good information for everybody. And then if you watch this later, those apps, I'm definitely going to try that center stage. LOL, I do miss the city. Well, I'm a city guy. I'm a city boy. So Cat D, thanks for coming in. It's been a long time since I've seen you in one of my chats. Thank you. But yeah, you can really tell Anthony's really loving what he's doing. So that's cool. And that's the big thing. You got to love what you're doing. So with that, everybody, I guess I'm going to call it here, and we'll be back on Monday. And don't forget, now every Wednesday, Countess April's going to come on with me, and we're going to talk more buying storage units and sourcing and other things. You know, people really got into it yesterday. So she said she can help people that if they're interested in buying a storage unit, if we could bring it up on the screen, she could see what she sees and maybe something you should pass or really look into. So that seems interesting. So everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you all later. That's the end of another great show, everybody. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you even learned a little something. And as always, thank you for your support. And please subscribe to the channel for more great content like we did have today. And Maddie, do you want to tell the people goodbye and have a great day?